Hello everyone. Today class number 33. Class number 33 for electrical machine 2. Okay. So in this class I will discuss the flux and MMF phasor, right? Flux and MMF phasor diagram of salient pole. Previously it was cylindrical pole rotor, and for this case it is salient pole alternator. Okay, salient pole alternator, right? For salient pole alternator, so you have to first understand what is salient pole alternator. That is, salient pole alternator have a rotor which is called salient pole. Okay, so the rotor is actually is the salient pole type. That means if we consider a suppose this is the stator portion, and only for simplicity I am taking two stator conductors. Okay, so and this is the rotor. So this type of rotor, that is this type of rotor is called salient pole rotor. Okay, and cylindrical pole rotor means what? Cylindrical pole rotor means, yes, okay, so this type of rotor is cylindrical pole and this is for salient pole. Okay, so previously it was I have done this MMF and flux phasor diagram for this type of motor or this type of rotor, and now I am moving into the salient pole type rotor. Okay, so right, so this salient pole rotor have two axes of the rotor. Okay, it has two axes, right? So one of the axis is having called D axis. Okay, and this axis is actually along the low reluctance path. So it is low reluctance path. This section is a high reluctance. Okay, so this is low reluctance area as the air gap is small, right? As the air gap is small and as the air gap is larger, so this is the high reluctance area. So this high reluctance area will be called Q axis. Okay, so the D axis is in direct axis. D axis are called direct axis. Direct axis is called polar axis. Another name of it, polar axis. Okay, and the Q axis is called quadrature axis or quadrature axis, which is right angled each other. Okay, which is right angle. The angle in between these two axes are right angled. Okay, so right along, right point wise, first point, along the D axis the reluctance of air gap is minimum. Along D axis the reluctance of the air gap is minimum. So the maximum armature flux, phi A max, so maximum armature flux phi A max is generated along the D axis. So phi A max is generated along D axis. Okay, and next point, right, on the other hand the reluctance is minimum along the Q axis, and the other hand reluctance is maximum at the Q axis. Reluctance is maximum at the Q axis, that is flux phi A will be minimum equals to phi A mean on the Q axis. Okay, that is reluctance is larger here, phi flux will be minimum. Reluctance is smaller, so phi A will be maximum. Okay, so which means that means magnitude of phi A depends on the orientation of the field poles. That is, this is the field pole, right? This is the field pole, this is field, because for the synchronous machine field is rotating. So depending on the orientation of field pole, the magnitude of flux phi a is dependent. Okay, dependent. Okay, next write. So the magnitude of phi a depends on the orientation of the field poles with respect to the armature MMF wave. With respect to the armature MMF wave, whatever the armature MMF is created, so depending with respect of this, the orientation of the field pole, actually the flux phi will be generated. So there are two cases. Case number A. In first case, when the load is zero power factor lagging, when the load is zero power factor lagging, okay, that means what? Cos theta equals to 0, that is theta equals to 90 degree. Okay, then IA lags EF by angle 90 degree. So IA lags EF by angle 90 degree, that is phi A also lags EF by angle 90 degree, and always EF lags from the FF or phi F by angle 90 degree. This, and similarly FA lags EF by angle 90 degree. So these four concepts, on these four concepts we can draw the phasor diagram. For this first case, EF as taken as a reference, and FF and phi F is in D axis, that means, and these are the, suppose FA, phi A and IA. Okay, these are 90 degree lagging. Okay, so here the demagnetization effect is occurred. So this is demagnetization effect is occurred. So when the salient pole rotor alternator synchronous motor is loaded with zero power factor lagging, then there will be a demagnetization effect. Okay, so now I will move into the case number 2. In case of case 2, right, when the load is unity power factor load, when the load is unity power factor load, that means for the unity power factor, cos theta equals to what? 1, and theta equals to 0 degree, that is IA and EF are in phase with each other, and similarly EF phi A are in phase with each other, EF and IA in phase with each other, and this EF actually lags behind the voltage. It is common to all. Okay, this fourth point is common. This fourth point is common for all cases. Okay, so lags behind the EFF and similarly phi F by 90 degree. Okay, so here the phasor diagram will looks like. So this is your EF. Okay, this is EF, and suppose this is F A, phi A, IA, and due to this FF, phi F is present. So there are cross magnetization. Effect. If cross magnetization effect is happened or occurred, cross magnetization effect is occurred. Okay, so here the cross magnetization effect is occurred, and previously it was the demagnetization effect. Okay, so when the load is at infinity unity power factor load, then cross magnetization effect. Okay, so when the load is zero power factor leading, So now I will move into case number 3. Load is 0 power factor leading. So leading load, for the 0 power factor leading load, what will be the leading type load? That means cos theta equals to 0 degree here, but theta equals to 90 degree, but it is leading in nature. Leading means what? This EF and IA will lead EF by 90 degree. Phi A will lead EF by 90 degree. FA will lead EF by 90 degree. And EF will lag FF, or that is phi F, by angle 90 degree. So that means from these 4 concepts you can draw it. If we consider EF as a reference phasor, then IA, phi A and FA are IA, phi A, FA will be leading, right? So IA, phi A and FA will leading by angle 90 degree, and in the direction in phase of FF and phi F, okay? Because this FF and phi F also leading leading by EF by 90 degree, okay? So that means magnetization effect is present. Magnetization effect is happened here. So when the motor is when the alternator is loaded with, alternator 3-phase synchronous generator is loaded with 0 power factor leading load, then it will be assist the field flux, okay? So this effect is called magnetization effect. Okay, there are 3 cases, and the 4th case where there is no load. So for the no load condition, these IA, phi A, FA all are 0. That means there is no effect on the field flux. Okay, there is no effect on the stator flux. Okay, so this MMF diagram already I have been completed in here. So now I will move into the next topic of this module, that is phasor diagram of an alternator. So phasor diagram of an alternator. Okay. So what will be the expression first? So what will be the expression? E of R, that is rotor EMF. E of R means rotor EMF, okay, which equals to Vt plus IA RA plus IA XAL. Okay, Vt equals to load terminal voltage, and IR equals to voltage drop at rotor, and IXL equals to reactance drop at rotor. So this is the EMF for rotor side. Okay. So and for the stator case, there will be a EF, that is stator EMF. Okay, stator EMF which will be generated in air gap, okay, and IA equals to rotor current which is lagging in nature. Okay, that means the alternator itself is a lagging device, power factor, less power factor, that is inductive based load. Okay, so here you can say that Ra equals to Ra equals to rotor resistance per phase, XL equals to rotor leakage reactance per phase, and Vt equals to, already I have been discussed, that the terminal voltage per load voltage per phase, okay. And now I am concluding some angle first. Angle equals to angle between EF and Vt, and theta equals to angle between EF and Ia, and psi equals to angle between Vt and Ia. Okay, so first one is known as del equals to, first one is known as, right, power factor angle. Del equals to load angle or power angle. Okay, del equals to load angle or power angle. Okay, this is odd. Okay, this is not part, this is odd. Load angle or power angle. And theta equals to, right, power factor angle. Theta equals to power factor angle, and psi equals to, right, internal power factor angle. So this is internal power factor angle, this is power factor angle, this is load angle. Okay, so there are three types of angles are there. So now I will move into the drawing of the phasor diagram. Okay, so what will be the drawing, how the drawing will be generated? See, so I am taking first the reference axis FF and phi f as a reference axis, FF and phi f as a reference axis. Okay, and FF and phi f always EF is leading by angle 90 degree, EF is always leading by angle 90 degree. Okay, so this, from this EF there will be a lagging of Vt, right? Vt is lagging by some angle del, that is a load angle. Okay, so Vt will be lagging, so Vt will lag. Okay, Vt will lag, so Vt will be added with IaRa, Vt will be added with IaRa, then JIaXL. Okay, make it JIaXL. So what is Ia? So now again you have to put Ia in this phasor diagram. Ia will again lagging, Ia is lagging by some angle theta. Okay, so this angle is your phi, or this angle is your del, and this is your Ia, which is angle theta, lagging by some angle theta. So IaRa will be looks like here, and IaXL. Okay, JIaXL. So what is the peak, which if we add, then you can get the ER. You add them ER. Okay, so this is your IaRa drop will be same in phase of Ia, and IaXL will be 90 degree phase difference on this IaRa drop, and after the reaching the peak, if we join from the origin, then you can get this ER. Okay, this ER will be added in this three vector quantities, three phasors. Okay, so this is your theta, this is your del, and now only one, that is psi. Psi is internal angle Vt and Ia. So this is the angle is psi. So del plus psi equals to theta, right? The angle relation del plus psi equals to theta. Okay, so that means del means what? Load angle plus internal power factor angle equals to power factor angle. Load angle plus internal power factor angle equals to power factor angle. So this is all about the phasor diagram of alternator. So from this equation is the EMF equation, rotor EMF equation. Okay, this is called rotor EMF equation. From this rotor EMF equation we can develop the phasor diagram of synchronous generator or alternator, and by using these parameters. Okay, So today's class up to this much. Next I will start the test of alternator, which are very much important. These tests of an alternator is very much important topic. And so today's class up to this much. Okay, thank you.